If there's one name that sends shivers down the spines of woke reporters, it's Pierre Poilievre. As a quick-witted MP for the Conservative Party, Pierre has become famous for his no-nonsense approach, razor-sharp comebacks, and his ability to dismantle liberal narratives with facts and logic. But let's be real. Pierre is no stranger to being targeted by liberal supporting reporters who are trying to trip him up with gotcha questions and misleading data. The thing is, they always seem to forget one crucial detail. Pierre Poilievre doesn't back down. He doesn't just defend his position, he embarrasses his critics in the process. Today, we're counting down the top 5 moments where Pierre Poilievre absolutely owned woke reporters. These clips are pure gold, and trust me, you're going to want to see each and every one of them. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we've got a moment where a reporter tries to corner Pierre with a vague, poorly worded question, but instead of letting it slide, Pierre calls him out. And the result is absolutely priceless. Watch this.
Jerome from Omni News. An internal email obtained by the Globe and Mail shows your party has advised MPs not to comment publicly on Alberta's new transgender health and education policies. Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Sorry, what's that? What was the last part of your question?
Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Okay, well, your question contains falsehoods. You should to tell me what restrictions you're referring to.
That's the question they gave me.
That's the question they gave you. Who gave you that question?
That's from my office, from my desk.
Which desk is that?
It's from Omni News.
Okay. This is the problem. Justin Trudeau and the media have been spreading disinformation to distract from his doubling of housing costs, his quadrupling of the carbon tax, the crime wave that he's unleashed across the country. And they're doing that by spreading disinformation on this and other issues. Justin Trudeau does not want to defend his appalling record of sending 2 million people to food banks. And so he's spreading disinformation on this subject with the help of the media, who want to cover up for his failures. Our approach is to focus on our common sense plan, to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Ouch. That's what happens when you come unprepared to a debate with Pierre Poilievre. If you're going to ask a question, at least make sure you know what you're asking. Number 4, we've got a reporter who tries to blame society for a criminal's repeated offenses. But Pierre isn't having it. He schools the reporter with a dose of common sense that leaves everyone in the room stunned. Check this out.
The system to not support people who have committed crimes, gone to jail, served their sentence, and then they're committing another crime. So is this not a failure of things like social services and support for people who have committed crimes?
Are you serious?
I'm asking you a
no,
question.
I mean, are you serious? Come on. You're telling me... No, excuse me. Let me answer your question. Are you honestly saying that it's society's fault if a repeat violent offender commits 60 or 70 offenses? I think that criminal is to blame for his own actions. He is personally responsible. We're not talking about some kid who made one mistake when he was 19. We're talking about people who do 60, 70 violent offenses.
Why do those people
and then because they're criminals.
But why are they criminals?
Because they do crime.
And why do they do crime?
Because we let them out early on bail.
So because they
I think we've solved the riddle here.
Because they got let out early on bail.
That's right.
They then commit the crime.
That's right.
So
that's what all the experts agree is the cause of the crime.
So had they stayed in jail the whole time on bail in jail, not on bail as you say, they would then not commit crimes.
Because they'd be in jail, so they couldn't commit crimes.
And when they get out at the end of their sentence, they're crime-free?
Well, we can't guarantee that, but what we can guarantee is the period when they're behind bars, they will not be able to do crime.
Boom. Pierre just dropped the mic on that one. It's not society's fault. It's the system's fault for letting repeat offenders back on the street. Case closed. And number 3, we've got a reporter who tries to paint Pierre as some kind of Canadian version of Donald Trump. But Pierre isn't just ready for it. He flips the script and leaves the reporter stumbling over their words. Let's take a look.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
Like who?
I don't know who, but
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
you must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
What are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question
Okay,
is.
then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
Another epic fail for the woke media. Pierre doesn't just defend himself, he exposes the lazy partisan tactics of his critics. You'll love to see it. Coming in at number 2, we've got another reporter trying to imply that Pierre is anti-liberal and out of touch. But once again, Pierre turns the tables and leaves the reporter looking completely lost. This one is a must-watch.
Let's go back to D.C. right now. Obviously, on his first day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order. The U.S. government only recognizing 2 genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally?
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am
Okay.
People who say cis man.
Good,
There are people there who they say they're
Me too.
gender
I'm a man
neutral.
as well.
You're a man. Yes. There are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only 2?
I'm only aware of 2, but if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of 2, and as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone to make their own personal decisions. That's the kind of government I'm going to run.
Another win for Pierre. When will these reporters learn that trying to label him just doesn't work? Facts over feelings every single time. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, our number 1 pick. This clip went viral, and for a good reason. A woke news anchor tries to put Pierre on the spot with numbers provided by the Liberal government. But Pierre doesn't just fact-check her. He completely destroys her argument with cold, hard data. Watch this.
More than 1 million Canadians have access to that program, have received coverage to that program. 89% of dentists in this country, according to government numbers, 89% of dentists in this country have signed up for the dental care program. Would a conservative government gut those programs? Would a conservative government cut the dental care program? Can you tell the 1 million Canadians who are right now receiving coverage under that plan whether or not they will continue to have coverage under a Conservative government.
So, first of all, you've revealed your own bias in simply accepting government propaganda. We don't know how many people
Is
have
that
actually
just because you
benefited
say
from
so,
it.
sir? Is that just because you say so? What evidence or data do you have that we cannot trust those numbers?
Oh, where do you want me to start? You could start with Monday. Were you awake on Monday? Their deficit was 55% bigger than they said 8 months ago. So we can't trust what they say on financial numbers. Their carbon tax was not supposed to go above 11 cents a liter, and the media parroted those government talking points like you are right now. And the tax is now up to 17 cents, and it's headed to 61 cents. The numbers on immigration, they tell us they can't even tell us how many people are in the country illegally. So when the government puts out a propaganda piece to the media, which then gets regurgitated without any scrutiny, claiming that they've done all of these wonderful things, I'm suspicious. I want to see the evidence. Even if it were true, what you've just admitted is that 40 million people have thus far got nothing from the program. So let's get the actual facts before Canadians, and let's make judgments based on the reality rather than on government propaganda. And that's what you're going to get from me, a government that actually looks at the real numbers and the real facts, not dishonest propaganda from Justin Trudeau and the NDP Liberals.
Respectfully, that's still not an answer to my question, but I do need to move on.
Total mic drop. Pierre didn't just win that exchange, he exposed the bias and incompetence of the reporter in one fell swoop. This is why he's a legend. There you have it, Pierre Poilievre's top 5 epic moments owning woke reporters. Whether it's calling out hypocrisy, defending common sense, or shutting down lazy arguments, Pierre proves time and time again why he's a leader who doesn't back down. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let's spread the word about a leader who isn't afraid to stand up for what's right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.